Damage Does D&D. We're back with our campaign, The Investigators, or the No Name campaign. But it's really called The Investigators because, we decided it was. Well, I decided. Okay, I'll shut up now. I will hand you across to our DM. Martin, take it away.
Welcome. So the world is in a bit of turmoil. There have been these random rifts open up with all sorts of weird effects, creatures that have come from the past and from the future, or a future, that have been tearing across the... who's messaging me? Oh, thank you. They've been tearing across all sorts of parts of the world. The party have been called in by the Wizard Council of Kantichi to combat and investigate what is happening here. I've been sent to various parts of the world, investigated and fixed an island of dinosaurs that's popped up. They've been across the ocean to find the start point, the initiation of what seems to be the issue going on here, and further then investigated a wizard that seemed to be tied to that start point. A now Grandmaster several of the Wizard Council. Latterly, the party headed to Oninia to investigate what was going to happen with the next rift that seemed to be opening there before being, affronted by these futuristic golems that came through a rift. They've been fought and battled across the country, including the appearance of a rather angry red dragon that the party encountered along the way and upset, who then followed them. But she teleported away. The final push to deal with the golem issue, the party were given two options. The remaining golems were heading to two different places. The party picked to head to Loughton, where they had great fun sliding golems down a cliffside till they go boom. After that, Sasha's father, who owns a manor house in the city of Loughton, has arrived to talk to the party before ex-Grandmaster Several also appeared, saying we should talk, and then proceeded to walk towards the front door of Heartwood Manor. And we'll pick up inside the house in the great entrance hall of the manor. If anyone's not in Roll20, feel free to jump in there. Yeah, just move you lot. I can get all of you. No, and let's just get rid of that. Copy you lot over. This is really just to test out the new dungeon thing.
Yeah,
we'll get rid of you and you. Oh, Big Burn, you still there? I'll make you small again, and I'll move you all across in a second. Third. And there you are. We don't really need the map, but yeah, I was just playing around with the map making tool, and ended up doing the layout.
Alrighty.
So currently, in this entrance hall are the four of you, Grandmaster Several, and Lord Hartwood. Well, goes Several. It appears you've done fine work dealing with these golems. Well done.
Sorry, you were supposed to be with the Mage Council. They...
Tell me why I shouldn't just remove your head from its shoulders right now.
Because that's not our decision to make, Sasha, and you know that.
And frankly, dear, you couldn't.
But
You should be in chains for what you have done.
you experimented with magics without the permission of the council, and Grandmaster Staniard wants to talk to you about this. Why are you not talking to him? Why are you here?
Well, I went to try and deal with the beast that I accidentally released.
And I'm guessing by you coming to talk to us that you failed miserably.
Well, yes, that's pretty accurate.
So where is the beast now?
I believe it is going back to sleep where I left it,
Which is where?
south of the Dwarven Mountains.
Right.
If you want me to pop the map up, I can share. I'll share my screen there. So yeah,
Oh,
you're
you're still a captain, by the way.
yes, Nat did tell me that, and I haven't fixed that yet. I shall promote myself. There we go. Thank you.
Cool.
So yeah, you're currently in Onenia. The Dwarven Mountains basically run from I don't know if, from sort of that connection point between the three countries, Onenia, Rhine, and Frenchria, down that Rhine-Frenchian border, going up from as it goes further south, all the way into Pytosco, which is Dwarven country. So when he's saying south of the Dwarven Mountains, it's probably somewhere in southwest Pytosco-ish.
Right. Okay. I see.
Do you actually realise the scope of what your actions have caused?
Yes, that's why I'm trying to fix it.
When?
You're doing a bit of a piss-poor job, don't you think?
Yeah. What exactly did you do to try and deal with the beast? And we really need specifics, because if we're going to stop it, which we will, we're going to need specifics on what you tried and didn't work.
Well, when I first arrived, I monitored it for a while, and it didn't seem to do anything. It was just sleeping. I subtly tried to lure it out of its slumber, and it did not want to wake. Even at one point, I stood upon it, and it didn't even stir then. It wasn't
good,
until
then.
Yes.
So if it's asleep, then it can't cause any damage. Is this correct?
Yes.
Physically, I mean. We don't know if it's magically tied into these rifts and the rifts are trying to pull it back, or what is going on. But I think, first of all, you owe an incredibly large and heartfelt apology to Miss Bernia. You have caused her incredible amounts of trauma, and I believe she would be well within her rights to actually take bits of you off. Now, Miss Bernia is a very nice person, and probably won't. I'm not sure I would have quite as much restraint as her in this particular situation, but that's the first thing I think you need to do, is apologise to her immediately and without any further delays. And Mastak will just sort of, after saying that, Mastak will just sort of look around nervously and just move behind Kroll.
Oh, Mastak's chosen.
Well, Dalen's not around, so I can't hide behind Dalen. So next biggest person.
So he generally has a really punchable, smug look about him, as I'm sure you know. And as you start, he doesn't respond to the threats of people saying they're gonna remove his head or whatever, or just being angry at him. But as that, you actually talking about the hurt that it's caused to people and someone in the room specifically,
No.
he starts just looking down a bit. You know, that sort of like, there's like shame there that he doesn't want to meet your eye as you're saying this to him.
Okay. Well, in that case, I won't step behind Kral. And I will just look at him and say, well, we're all waiting.
I am ashamed, you know.
Well,
That's very
and
well
then
for you to say
he-
that you're ashamed. That's not an apology. That's how you feel.
Bernia, is it?
I
And he
just
steps to you and looks directly at you.
pull myself out of the slight frozen trance I'd been in.
The words do not exist to tell you how sorry I am. But I am. And I am doing my best to fix this.
You will.
I think that maybe a good start on this would be you returning to the council, providing them with the schematics and all of the information that you know about these pearls that you've been working on, and maybe start working with them on how we can stop these rifts while we do the field work. That's a start.
May I? Because there is more to the story that I have yet to tell you.
Well, talk fast because we don't got much time.
So, as I said, the beast did not want to stir, but I began testing magic upon it, and most of it was bouncing off. It was very resistant to magic. Eventually, I seemed to hit a certain point behind the neck that actually angered it and awoke it.
Did you manage to get a look at what you hit? Was it just a patch of skin, a patch of fur?
The creature is very difficult to describe. While it is It's like looking into nothing. It is just dark. When you look at it, you can't make out the depth of things, whether there's a leg close to you or whether it's the back. It just looks like a silhouette or something. So it is very difficult to see, but I think from the angle I was at, I was aiming towards the head from the back.
And this woke it up, you say?
Yes.
And is it still awake? Or has it gone back to sleep?
We fought for hours, and it started to get the better of me. I was running out of magic, and I began to retreat, and it cornered me. And in a last-ditch attempt to flee, I teleported. Just heading up the cliff towards the dwarven territory, up the mountain. And as I landed my teleport, I looked down the cliff to see myself fighting the creature. And I swiftly passed out.
So,
What do you mean you can see yourself fighting this creature?
That is what I saw. From there, I slept for 2 days, up until very recently. I was in the care of the dwarves, and while I slept, I was not alone. I was visited by Tursith, the god of magic, wizards, knowledge. Mazak, certainly that name would mean a significant amount to you. Like, wizards don't tend to pray or anything to a god, but they certainly have their superstitions and things around not taking Tursith's name in vain or whatnot.
So, Tursith gave you advice?
As is their nature, they gave me knowledge.
Which was?
There are creatures in this world that have been around since before recorded history. 3 of them, to be exact. They are called the Immortals. Over the eons, the gods have taken favor upon certain mortals that have served them well during their time on this material plane, and the gods occasionally have granted immortality to these individuals. One of the earliest ones was a paladin of Amriel who had served her graciously, so she granted immortality to him so he could continue to do his good work, being a bastion of virtuosity. And all of the gods, or 8, I should say, of the 9 gods have, over the years, taken upon their own immortal servants. Eventually, these immortal beings, the paladin in particular, was the first to ask his god for release, for retirement. He had served her well, and she granted him retirement among the angels of Amriel in the afterlife. And he was given that as compensation. The millennia go by, and eventually all but 3 of the immortal creatures have been retired into their prescribed afterlife. 3 of them still exist, those that are tied to what are considered to be the evil gods. Whether they have been refused release or whether they choose not to ask for it is entirely up to them.
Do you know their names, these 3 immortals?
There is the servant of Hanumo. That's the really very bad god.
Hanumo, okay.
Hanumo. Hunumo. And she is known as Renee, the Queen of Spiders.
This is the immortal, yeah? Renee,
Yes.
Queen of Spiders.
Hanumo being the sort of god of like murder and deception and like the really bad stuff.
Okay.
Then there is the servant of Isthala. Isthala being the god of what was it, like poison, diseases of body and mind. You know, it's the god of poor mental health, as well as nightmares. The god of nightmares. And that entity is known only as the Dream Lord. The final one is the servant of Vastro, which I believe you may be. Wait.
Familiar with the name, at least.
Yes, that was Dalen's god.
Yeah.
The god of death.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is... Hold on, the champion. I know the champion's name. I have written it down.
Yeah.
That's the one we're trying to find.
Jakoto.
This being Vastro's general, Jakoto, yeah?
That's the one. You've heard of her. Yes. Also known as the Ancient Blades.
Well, our companion was tasked with finding Jakoto, so it's on our to-do list, so to say.
So, just humour me. You've mentioned fighting this beast. You were
Yes.
losing. You teleported. And then from your position halfway up the hill, you looked back and you saw yourself still fighting the beast. Then you passed out and slept for 2 days.
That about covers it, yes.
Now, I'm not quite seeing the link yet between the 3 immortals and this beast that you have let loose upon the world.
Are y'all saying that one of these immortals released this thing, or is
No. The 3 immortals that have been told to me are just a step that need to be taken. They may hold some information, as they are older than civilized world, that may be useful. Tursith has deemed them necessary to speak to, or at least one of them.
Right, so you're giving us a to-do list additions. If we can't find Jakoto, then we should be tracking down the Queen of Spiders or the Dream Lord.
Yes.
Right.
right?
But I think that given your existing knowledge of Jakoto, that it is already on your to-do list, and quite possibly will be the most amicable to speak to of the three. I would focus on her. However, what I think I should clarify with you is that the beast was the same as the golem. You see, it was just something that came through the first rift, in the same way that the golems or those dinosaurs you dealt with came through a rift. The thing that is creating the rifts, that is something else.
Well,
The first one was created by me. There is something extraplanar that is making the most of that weakness that I created.
Nagale told me of it.
Say again,
Punching
sorry?
holes in our
Nagale
world.
told me of it. Something that even the gods fear. Trying to find its way into our world.
Yes. Between you and I suspect the gods know what it is.
I don't doubt it. I mean, if they fear it, they have to know what it is to fear it, right? And
Well, not
these
necessarily,
golems-
because you could. The fear of the unknown is a fear about something you don't know. So, therefore, supposition would prove that maybe you don't have to know a thing to fear it. Sorry, you should. I interrupted. I apologize.
The fact
Yes,
that
but if you're a god, I find it hard to believe that you fear much.
But if even they don't know what it is, that would make them scared.
Well, from what we've been told and what we've found so far, that beast that you decided to take upon yourself to deal with is a manufactured being in much the same way as these golems were.
Interesting. Manufactured by what?
We don't know yet. But if it absorbs magic, or is incredibly resistant, it would explain a lot, considering how these golems tried to replicate themselves.
I wonder if the beast being here is putting extra pressure on our magical realm. So, therefore, if we banish the beast somewhere, back to its own dimension, or own plane, perhaps
Well-
this would give us a little more time between rifts. Which means, because at the moment we seem to be running about wildly, trying to get to rifts as they happen. And this time we managed to get to one. This is good.
Yeah.
But if we can predict them, we can get to them. But it does seem to be happening. They're coming closer together. So perhaps removing the beast from this world would give us more time to determine what it was that was creating the rifts.
Well,
Just a theory.
I mean, I've been developing a few ruminations along the same lines, which is the more things that are pulled to us from the past and the future, it's pulling 3 timelines together. And instead of doing it so it's just hitting wherever it can. And it's now being manipulated by something for its own gain.
Do you know how to close these rifts permanently?
I mean, I would, building on Mazdak's theory, I would say that if we can send all of these things back to where they belong, we may be able to slow down whatever's going on and perhaps even fix it.
You could always kill all the wizards and the dragons.
let's not.
That's not a serious suggestion. Don't think I'm that evil.
One of the dragons may be in trouble.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Contarara was
Hmm.
annoyed
Displeased.
with us because we escaped her. She seems to have made it a bit of a mission to track us down and eat us, which is, to be fair, not going well for her currently. I mean, it's extremely
She-
scary for us. But
She-
she used a teleport spell as the rift was still in effect. Now, the teleport spell did not look or sound like a normal teleport spell. There was a huge sort of crack, as if something
Almost
had
like a
broken.
rip.
It's interesting.
When you teleported,
There was a
Well-
crack.
there was a crack, but you were unharmed.
Hmm.
But you saw yourself, suggesting that you'd gone back in time somehow.
Either that or a piece of you's been torn off.
That could explain the crack. Perhaps you've been separated into two different beings.
Oh, two of me.
Yes,
Wouldn't that be lovely?
terrifying, I know.
I could get so much work done.
Well, I was rather hoping for immortality that I could read every book ever. But mustn't get distracted. I've been told before that I can get distracted by things very easily, especially books. Because books. Did you know that the Great Golden Dragon has a book section in his library that is completely off limits? Nobody's allowed in. But he said one day, perhaps I could get in there and have a read.
Oh, but there are no books that exist in the world that are not in the Cantetian Library.
Apparently, these ones are not in the Cantetian
And if you
Library.
believe that, you're a fool.
Apparently, these ones are not. So I'm going to read them.
Mm,
So
I can
So-
well believe it.
As they're talking about teleporting and stuff like that, I'm just gonna be kind of trying to hold myself a bit steady because, you know, the topic that was brought up. I'm just gonna do a ping a divine sense, kind of just looking over at Severil.
Okay. What's a divine sense going to?
Fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
is it just me or is everybody frozen? Oh, we're all back.
Am I
again.
caught back up?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a bit lagging going on.
Everybody.
Yeah,
frozen.
I-
It's like, wow.
I've been having a few of them, so I might just stop the stream for the moment.
I think it might be Discord if we're all having it separately.
Yeah.
There are times where people are talking and then everyone freezes, and then when you come back, you're still talking as if there was no interruption.
Yeah.
It's very
Right.
bizarre.
Mm.
Yes, me and my family would ping,
But nothing off the
and
Severil.
pretty much everybody in this town.
Yeah, quite a lot. But they're not within 60 feet. Well, Sasha's dad is.
But yeah, nothing off the Severil then, I assume.
Oh no, we've all gone again.
Tasked the dwarves with some further research to
Right.
keep their distance, but to look into the beast.
But the dwarves are responsible for creating the golems in the future. We found this out.
I'm sorry, I'm new to the golem situation.
This is getting daft.
You've all frozen again. There we go.
Yeah, this is getting really.
This is getting really silly. Every time.
What?
Yeah. So I was saying that the dwarves are responsible for the creation of the golems in the future. We have been told, well, not reliably, but we have been told that that is a thing. So having them study it might not be such a brilliant idea.
I will reach behind my neck and pull one of the few plates of that dwarven alloy out. Well, take a look at this, and this is part of the alloy of. We actually found some dwarves, and this is the armor they were wearing.
Oh, right. He just sort of takes it. He moves his hand across it as his eyes kind of just glaze over. He comes back. Interesting. Yes. He hands it back to you. That is certainly not something from the present, is it?
That's a combination of alloy and magic, which we would not be able to produce now.
So the dwarves that you found came back through the rift that the golems came through?
I think they may have been dragged through. They were dead, crushed.
Yes, I think they were fighting the golems as well,
I think they may have lost control.
which is rather worrying.
Okay. So where does the beast fit into this?
Well,
In the future,
I suspect possibly. The theory is that the beast was terrorizing the dwarves, and the dwarves, to counteract that, started creating the golems as a sort of safety measure to whilst investigating it. So your task for them, probably inadvertently, perhaps, resulted in them creating golems for their safety whilst investigating this creature. The golems then somehow got self-aware and decided to turn on their masters. Quite where the elves fit in, I'm not sure.
Oh, sorry, I lost you for all of that. Jess.
Yeah, same. This is getting ridiculous.
Okay. What I suggest we do is we will stop, because that was quite a good speech as well.
One of your best, I'm sure.
Okay.
That's not special.
Yeah, So, basically, you have tasked the dwarves with investigating the creature, yes?
Yes.
So, what if the dwarves, realising the danger this creature poses, create the... Oh, you've gone again. No, you've all gone. Oh, no. Are you back? No, not quite.
On Discord and then see if we can
Yeah, let's
reconvene.
just stop that, because I'm not doing that speech a third time for having interrupted. So we'll just take a little break. Bear with us. hopefully, Discord has sorted its shit out. So, Mazdak was in the middle of a speech. I'm not sure how much of that was broadcast. It might have all been broadcast. So just in case, I'll run through it one more time. And if it glitches out, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just going to go sulk. So, what if the dwarfs, having been tasked with this investigation, create golems for their own protection, as they have problems accessing this creature, or the creature kills them. So, as a safety measure, they create the golems to do the investigation for them. However, the golems then become self-aware through interactions with the creature, turning upon the dwarves. The elves get wind of all these unnatural creatures being created, blame the dwarves for this. So therefore we now have a three-way war between golems, dwarves and elves. That's a theory that could explain what's happening.
But the beast itself came back through a rift from the future, so
Exactly.
it must be
But
involved
it
in that
could
setup
be.
somewhere.
Time is strange, as far as I understand. As far as it's possible to understand, it's sort of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. It's not a straight line or a curve or even a bar graph. It can loop. We could be in a closed loop of time currently, or we could be leading up to a closed loop of time. We have to do something to break that loop to stop the rifts. Again, it's a theory,
Yes.
but it is, of course, as always, yet to be proven. But I think it's worthy of attention and thought, certainly. And I'll just
Fair.
look round at everyone else, see if anybody followed that.
Like I say, Kral's basically just sat there, and you can see him. He's got a set of tools laid out in next to him, and he's just tooling the end of the crossbow bolts, and he's nodding along with because he's basically been able to. He's probably the only person in the room that can probably follow Mazdak's line of logic.
Well, several as well.
Well, yeah.
Possibly several as well, yeah.
Possibly, but he's not as familiar with Mazdak as Kral is.
Sasha looks like she wants to punch several and have a drink at the same time.
Don't spill it though.
Seems unlikely
I
that would
don't-
happen. The
All
spinning up.
sounds interesting, although you do seem to be basing that off of the fact that a golem killed 2 dwarves.
No. I believe that. How did we find that out? Information was that
I think Amarius told us.
Amarius?
Who?
I know he told us about the dwarves versus the elves, but did
Yeah.
he tell us
Yeah.
about?
He didn't say anything about dwarves versus golems.
He did not, did he?
But he did mention that I think he mentioned that the
We found some dead dwarves that looked like they'd
Yeah.
been pummeled,
Yeah.
but the armor that they had was very similar to what some of the stuff that golems had.
Yeah, so when we found the dwarves with the strange armories that made of the same alloy that I've just shown several, we also found a warhammer and a halberd made of the same materials, which and we established that they weren't that based on my notes, we established that these were probably sort of 10, 12 generations down the line of design in terms of from what Kral knows of dwarven craftsmanship, considering he was taken in by dwarves and has basically been around and was aware of sort of the arcane tinkerings and how combining magic and metal usually goes.
So, as I said, it's
Yes.
theoretically possible that that's happened. I mean, it could be that the golems that have been brought back here are out of control, with no dwarves to lead them. Perhaps those 2 dwarves did try and regain control and got killed by accident. It could be that the dwarves are using the golems to fight the elves in the future. We don't know.
Yes.
It is
have
subjecture and theory.
we have already established that these golems use the native materials to replicate themselves.
Yes.
Right.
And they kickstart the cores of the inert golems using energy from the. There's two distinct types. You can tell which ones are the ones that came back through the rift, and
Right.
the ones that are made. The ones that were made here are far more brittle, easier to kill.
Makes sense. But as I understand, they've all been dealt with now.
Yeah, we blew up the forge.
We also
Good.
sort of skidded them all down a mountain off a cliff.
Yes, I saw a bit of that.
Yes, well, there was some heading to the other town that I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, me neither. Shlu.
Blue.
Shlu.
We were informed that there were a force of dwarves heading for the southern border.
Yes, I bought them there. They will, I'm sure, be able to deal with it.
Well,
If the small number of you manage to deal with the ones here, then the
difference is between our group, we present a formidable force of both magic and strength of arms. Whereas
Yes.
most of these countries have basic armies with no magical weapons, no magic to speak of, no spellcasters or healers to support.
that is definitely not true of the dwarves.
Well, I would expect nothing less from them considering how good they are at combining magic and metal.
Exactly.
So we're thinking the dwarves are good with the secondary golem force at Shlu. Right.
I mean, I would say that they probably got a better chance than
Then the
other
locals.
Yeah.
Right, so the question is, what do we do next? I mean, I feel finding Jakoto has become more important. At the same time, I also feel that you, Several, need to report immediately to the Mage Council.
Well,
To give, as Kral suggested, your research and knowledge to them so that they can diversify and use the knowledge of the council and associated wizards to combat this threat.
I will certainly give my report to Grandmaster Stanyard, but I'm not going anywhere near that city.
Right.
well,
I have too much to do. I cannot risk being captured.
Right. And what is it you're going to do?
Figure out some new ways to combat things.
or you could learn from the mistakes that you seem to continue to make, which is go off and try to deal with this beast by yourself, fail miserably, and end up maybe splitting yourself in half.
Oh, you seem to take great pleasure in the fact that I failed to accomplish
No,
that.
I would have loved nothing more for you to have dealt with that, because that's
Yeah.
just one more thing on our list. So, don't take this the wrong way, but whether you like it or not, you need to go back to the council at some point. Because
Look,
if you don't go to them, they will come to you.
I will do as I please, thank you very much, but there is no way I'm going back there. They will put me in magic nulling shackles and they will throw me in the dungeon of the Prince's Keep. There is no way I'm doing that.
And
There
all
are far
the
more
people that have
important things
died.
there. And if I go into shackles and am not around to help fix the problem, more people might die. Is that the better option, is it?
Well, you're already responsible for a few thousand deaths between Bernya's country and the other one, so
And again, I say that if I hadn't got involved in there, would they have not been continuing to fight and kill each other? Yes, they would have. I was trying to stop the fight with one blow. That's what I was trying to do.
Well, you certainly stopped it.
Yes, well, things went wrong, clearly, but I'm doing what I can to try and fix it.
and do you ever consider the fact that maybe you should just stop because you've done enough?
Just stop. Okay, yes. That's fine. And that would be the better option if I went, whoops, I've created all this chaos and then I'm just going to sit down and go, nah, it's not my problem anymore. Would that be a better option, would it?
I mean,
No, none of what you are saying is a better option than what I'm trying to do, which is to actively try to fix it.
Right.
So calm down on your little high horses there. Thank you very much.
Well, seems to me that you could perhaps use some collaboration with other wizards. No? Perhaps, Grandmaster Stanyard, if you explain, if we vouch for you with him, perhaps he will see fit to not clap you in magical jail, but perhaps allow you to work with the council to solve the issue. I'm not taking any delight or have any high horse. I don't really do horses. I tend to fall off. But the point is that you could do more to assist working with the council than working by yourself. Surely, knowledge shared, more minds working on a problem can see different angles.
What's your name? I'm sorry, I never learned them.
My name is Mazdak.
Mazdak, thank you. Well, I apologize for not knowing your name, Mazdak, and again, thank you for proving why wizards are the best folk, because you are taking some logical steps in your line of thinking there.
Yes, well,
That at least makes logical sense to me, your argument.
well, quite obviously, it's the correct thing to do. So, but saying that wizards are the best people is a bit disingenuous. Wizards are wizards. We read, we learn, we experiment, we further knowledge throughout the world. But in my time travelling with my friends, I have learned many more things that I would never have learned just in the library at the university. So I think you need to learn, and a lot of wizards need to learn, as I have learned, that wizards are just people. Like Bernya is a people, and Kral is a people, and Sasha is a people. We are all people. We all have different amounts of knowledge about different things. Now, I know a lot about books. I can read a lot of books. I have read a lot of books. I love magic. I love being a wizard. I think it's fantastic. But to say that the wizards will sort it out is lazy. But you need to work with the other wizards to come up with a solution whilst we are tidying up your mess. And whatever it is that's creating the rifts, I'm not saying that you've caused all of this, but you've caused a great deal of harm by working by yourself, albeit with one assistant. So perhaps you need to come off your high horse, accept some humility, and work with the council.
And we as a diverse group have made more progress in the last few weeks than anybody else.
Well, Mazdak, can you give me a persuasion check at advantage? Because that was great.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was brilliant.
Now, do I do it on D&D Beyond, or do I do it in the box?
Either way, I'm going to use my reaction for the Flash of Brilliance. So you'll get +5, regardless.
You know what? I'm going to do it on D&D Beyond. So, persuasion check with advantage, yes?
Yeah. And a +5. You can't fail.
This is Chaz you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just send you a message.
So 22 plus 5, 27. Thank you for the flash of brilliance.
Well, Mazdak, you make a good point. Perhaps
no.
I should too careful.
Mazdak can't help himself.
Perhaps I should try to collaborate more. I will, on my own terms, reach out, Grandmaster Stanyard, and offer a meeting, just the two of us, and see if we can begin to work together.
I just want to know what you intend to do if we manage to fix all this. Are you then going to run away into a hidey hole and create more chaos? Are you actually going to atone?
We'll see.
Just trust me that if you try and run away from all this, I will stop at nothing to find you again.
Moving swiftly on, would you like us to pre-warn Stanyard that you'll be in contact, and we will, in the efforts of cooperation, say that we are going to continue to work together, and you'll be in contact with us? Is that fair to say?
You can let Stanyard know I will be in contact, but I will deal directly with him.
Right, but we're still going to be moving around here, there, and everywhere.
I may come visit you again.
If you find anything, you need to share it with us. Even if you're not comfortable sharing it with Stanyard, you need to share it with us, because we are the field team. We will be the ones to put this right.
Maybe, but don't get me wrong, I trust him more than you.
Yeah.
We may have our disagreements, but he is a great man.
We know. We work for the guy.
What, for 5 minutes? I've known him hundreds of years.
I've sent you a message. Person.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to
We all
find a
heard that,
window.
right?
Yeah.
So, the question still remains: what do we do next?
Well, I say we either take our rest here, or we head back to the tower, take
So-
our rest there.
We had a list. We had to find Severill, which we've done. We had to find Nuala, which we did. We needed to warn the dwarves. I don't think we need to do that anymore, as Master Severill here has clearly been in touch with them, and they are working. Do I believe he's got the dwarves to investigate? Is that a?
You can make an insight check.
Is that a? Is that a? Ooh, 13.
There doesn't really seem to have been any intent of deception through the whole conversation.
Okay, that's cool. We had to find Jakoto. We also had to find this strange shapeshifter. So, the Jakoto and the shapeshifter are the two things we need to do next. It's just a case of deciding which one we pursue first.
Mr. Severill?
Yeah.
Would you possibly have a way of transporting one of these golems back to my workshop in Camteche? Because I wish to continue my researches, and having one of these things relatively intact might be useful.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Well,
Wouldn't the sensible thing to do would be to just destroy it. All of it.
Well, we can't guarantee that it's all going to be destroyed because there's how many carcasses in this city alone. There's how many carcasses in the middle of the, Rick Walfak. And how many carcasses are going to be left over when the dwarves engage the Southern Force. Either way, these things are going to be picked up, studied, unless they're quarantined. Which we can't do because we don't have the manpower.
I might be able to see to it.
We need to understand what these things are, or at least get rid of them.
If it were possible to completely remove all remnants of the golems, would that not be the better option?
Absolutely. I mean, it goes with what our theory is that.
So let's do that then.
But,
and your name, sorry.
Kral.
Kral. I like your thinking there. I'd certainly like to take a look myself.
The ones that were locally produced, though, they don't belong. I mean, realistically, do they belong in the future or do they belong here? That's the problem.
They are
inferior copies.
They are a product of the future made in the past.
Yes, they would not exist without the temporal shenanigans here.
But we need to make sure that we know who is interacted with these things, and we need to get rid of all trace. And that may require some unsavory acts. If people are unwilling to give up pieces.
I think we should just do what we can to destroy them all. We may not be able to, but certainly transporting a futuristic carcass halfway across the world to your workshop doesn't seem sensible to me.
I had to try.
No, I appreciate it. I do.
The inventor in me.
Yes.
A quick GM question. We discovered a while back that Chakotay was in fact a bugbear. Is that right?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and we were also told that she was. It would be like finding a needle in a haystack. And I think we figured that the best place to look would be where there's lots of bugbears. But then we decided, no, that's not true. The needle in the haystack would be a small thing amongst big things. So we went to the land of the giants. Is that right?
So my note here is we were looking at Buralasia and Bervia, and we decided that possible Jakoto is literally a small in a large haystack, and we were going to go to Bervia to the giants.
I think that's what the plan was.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. Okay. I was just refreshing my memory to that was
what
we were doing.
Yep.
Okay.
It's been a while.
It has been a
Yeah.
while. Okay, cool. So, and at this point, Bazak just sort of realises that, he's been on his feet or flying through the air and expending magical energy forever, just sort of. So I think I just sort of slumps back down onto the floor.
Oh,
he's run out of energy, literally. Just sort of,
I think you need to plug him in.
Maybe he'll need 2 days to recover.
Surprising that he seems to have a end point.
You'll just see sort of the little sort of 1.5 foot high turtle with the cowboy hat on, just waddle over and sort of just crack this little ampule and sort of just under Mazdak's nose. It's like the equivalent
what? Ew.
And Mazdak wakes up and basically you just see this little mechanical turtle just.
Oh, interesting smell you have, sir. Kral?
It's
Perhaps some food and a small lie down would be a good idea. Sasha, would that be possible to arrange? Perhaps.
Father, do you think that could be done?
Yes, of course.
We have rooms, of course.
Yes, you can. If you want food, you want it in the dining room. We could have the staff bring it straight to you. Or would you care to settle in one of the fine lounges?
well, I'll be going back down with the work teams to supervise to make sure that all of the carcasses are collected up. Nobody pilfers anything.
Including you.
Of course, maybe. But they'll be able to keep an eye on me the same way that I'm going to supervise them. And as much as I'm itching to get to grips with these things, I mean, I agree that we do need to get rid of them.
Okay. Well, I will head to Shlu and make sure the same happens over there as well. I would suggest to you to rest up, take a quick break, but head back to Kantichi and report back in as quickly as you can.
Yeah. Okay, so could this extremely long, drawn-out conversation be considered a short rest?
Yeah.
I thought we were about to go into a long rest anyway.
Yeah. Or at least go into a short rest to get food. But either way, you can mark that off now.
Yeah.
As a short rest, yeah.
Yeah.
Zeril. As we're kind of starting to go our separate ways. We've been thinking I should by all means despise you, as you did side with Sandemia. But that does not matter in the scale of everything that's happened. You are doing what you can to undo the terrible things that you have unfortunately had happen. I think the only mark against you would be your abuse of Noala.
Interesting.
I would suggest you treat your family with greater respect.
Point taken. I'll be on my way.
No, not to him as he
recovery.
goes.
So, carry
By
on.
that time, Bernie, you just finished that thought?
I was just saying, I'll nod to him as he goes.
Okay. And then, Mazdak, you were arcane recovering.
Yeah, arcane recovery just to get a couple of spell slots back. Because I've got... Yeah, I'm just getting 2 first level spell slots back. Just in case. Okay, so... Food, and then... Well, I don't know if the portals are safe to use yet.
They should be by tomorrow,
Yeah,
based on the information we were
Okay.
given.
right.
We can stay here and then make our reports tomorrow.
Okay.
We have guest rooms, and Bernie, you're more than welcome to bunk with me if you'd prefer.
We shall see. I think I need some time of peace.
Of course.
Is it Lord Hartwood to
Yes?
address you? Would you prefer me to use my pipe outdoors?
No, you are free to smoke your pipe indoors.
Thank you.
Although there is a lovely garden out back if you would like to.
I think I will make use of that. Thank you. And I'll head out to the garden to go and sit and smoke.
Okay.
Where's Mother?
I sent her to the north to try and escape the city. She's with armed guards. I will send word for her to return. So please go and rest, and she'll be here by the time you wake.
Have you heard from Marion?
Not since the forces were splitting, and both here and there were under attack.
If you hear anything, please let me know.
Of course. Please, if everybody just go find an empty room. The staff upstairs will help you to find anything that you need. And do ring for anything that you need, day or night.
I will find a room and sit, get my book out, make sure it's okay, obviously, very important, and sit and study that for a while before drifting off to sleep. Probably still clutching my book as I sleep.
Probably eat a lot of food, drink a few beers, sharpen my sword for a bit, and then turn in.
Okay.
In a very rare occurrence, sort of Kroll have one of the 5 special books that he's got, and he's going to be comparing part of this alloy to the information that he's got already.
Okay.
As he's supervising the cleanup, should we say? And
Yeah.
Once he's satisfied that everything's sort of where it should be, he'll make his way back to the house. And
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll say that the forge that the golems were trying to get to atop that cliff, you have organised with the smiths there to make sure that
melt down whatever they can melt
everything gets melted down. Yeah. What was that, Badoop? Okay. Right. I got a Badoop for you pinning that, Chas.
Did you? Sorry. It's just so I remember what I've done and what I haven't done.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll say that yes, cleanup gets underway, and it seems like everything is going up the cliff to be melted down, and you lot are all free to go and take a long rest. And I'm sure you'll sleep. And this is probably the comfiest bed you've ever slept in.
Well, it's my bed, so you know.
Well, not you. It's the same comfy bed you've slept in a lot.
Yeah. But for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Look at all them spell slots.
What spell slots?
Yeah, quite.
Oh, look at those
Spell
rage
slots.
slots.
You mean smite slots?
But that seems like a good point to take a quick break.
Sure, absolutely.
An actual break this time.
Yeah, an actual break rather than
An
a
actual
forced
break,
discount break. Cool. Right. Okay. Yeah, we'll be back here very shortly.
arguing
Welcome
with the
back.
wizard.
We are returned to our long rest with all these lovely spell slots. So, DM, take it away.
So
you may
all-
have thoughts.
You've all gone and taken a nice, well-deserved rest. Sasha, when you wake up, you notice someone sat in a chair at the other end of the room as you realise your mother's in the room with you.
Glad to see you're well, Mother.
Oh, Sasha, you're awake. And she rushes over and just sort of dives on and hugs you.
I'll just sort of give her that kind of awkward pat.
Why do you do this? Why are you out there putting yourself in danger?
Because I'm trying to protect us, our family, our legacy.
I know, but I just want to protect you by keeping you out of danger.
The more I'm able to defend myself, the more I'm capable of looking after myself. If it wasn't for me and my friends, our home might not exist anymore.
I know. Can't want me. You can't expect me not to want to keep you safe, though.
But you've known for a long time now that I'm not the type to sit in a castle all day or a manor house and worry about how pretty I am. That's just not me. It never has been.
I know. We've been through all this, always. Since you were young and would rather pick up a sword than a
Hairbrush?
hairbrush, yes. I do sometimes wish you were more like your sister, but I am proud of you. Regardless.
Do you know, I think that's the first time I've heard you say that about me.
Well, I'm sorry if that's the case.
Is Marion okay? Have you heard anything?
Word come back about 30 minutes ago. The keep in Shlu was untouched. The dwarves got in and did the job well. She is fine.
Is she happy?
As far as I know, yes.
That was what concerned me previous to this whole thing.
Are you staying for long? Are we able to get you two in a room?
Unfortunately, I think we have more work to do, so as soon as it is safe to travel again by portal, we will be leaving. But hopefully we'll come back at some point.
I hope so, and do keep safe. Do come home whenever you need to.
Yes, Mother.
She'll just squeeze you again and give you a kiss and then let you get ready. So, as you all awake and reconvene downstairs, ready to go, what are your plans?
So, I think... excuse me, breakfast is very good. I think we head back to the portal, go to Kantiji, report in, and then...
Get paid. Get paid.
Oh, yes. Of course. That. Obviously, first thing in my mind.
Well, more money means more books.
This is very true.
And more spells.
Also true. then I think we go to Bervia.
That was going to be our next port of call, and
But remember,
it's
we do need to make sure that Grandmaster is the Grandmaster before we speak to him.
well. Let's just see if he likes his custard.
Exactly.
Just thought, yeah, it's custard.
Whether he likes the normal yellow kind or that really weird minty green one.
So, presumably, we are in. Where are we? Armenia.
Remember, there's like a outpost that's connected to Canticia that have some wizards in it, low levelish ones,
Yeah,
that can
there's
tell
a-
us whether or not the portals are
portal is
safe
up.
to use.
Yeah, the embassy in Onan, or in all the capitals,
Yeah.
have a couple of low-level wizards.
So we should head there. How far is it to Odin from here?
Pop that up. You can probably make it in a day.
It's about a day's travel.
Right. So I think we get going then. Yes.
I would say, yeah.
Has
Okay.
deconstruction and reacquisition gone successfully?
Well, I got them to break down what they could break down. They've melted down all the local alloys, shall we say. And the rest will be kept under guard until it can be safely disposed of. Which your Lord Father said he would make sure of for us. I believe that, well, I'm going to impress upon him to see if we can have the rest of the carcasses from the battle at Shlu bought here as well, so everything's in one place, easier to store, easier to guard, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. So you get on the road. Didn't you have horses to get here?
I believe so, yes.
Did they get tied up somewhere? Well,
Tied up
3
just out-
horses and a stag.
So they were tied up basically just outside town.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, it's half a day then to get all the way.
Were there any refugees from Rick Wolfak come this way? Or did they mostly go to Onan?
Most of them.
There's a Kim.
Kim is here. Well,
Woo!
Kim's
Her
hand.
arm.
Hooray! Spooky Kim's hand.
Yeah. So yes, there were refugees mostly went to Onan because of the location of the golems at the time. A few kind of were forced to head east to Loughton. But as soon as you get up and out the house, it looks like there's a queue of them in the west-hand side of the town, and there are officials there wearing your crest.
Well, knowing my father, I know he'd do what he could to look after.
Yeah.
Them.
So you get on your travels. I assume the stag is summoned as well, and the 4 of you begin to head there.
I'll
Head to
spend a spell
Onan.
slot because I probably lost track of it for a while now. I can just resummon it.
So as you get to and pass through Rick Wolfak, you can see the damage that's been done over the last 3 days. But you do very definitely see cleanup in action. There are carts with bits of golem being stacked up. And there are, if you Kroll spoke to anyone, you'd hear that there've been orders to stack them up and send them off to Loughton, to the forge there, because the only forge in Rickwell got exploded by some people.
But
I
I
wonder
Don't
who
know
those
what
were.
happened.
no idea what you mean. I absolutely am not an explosives
know.
person.
Never been here before.
So you're pretty happy that that's underway, and you continue on northwest to Onan. And you get to the town. It's still a bit swampy, because that was one of the effects that occurred in the sort of southeastern side of the city.
So it's Swampman.
Yeah.
Is it still really swampy, or is it receding, or?
It's as swampy as when you last saw it.
Right.
As you've seen with these effects, they aren't temporary.
Yeah.
The things that come through are there.
Mm-hmm.
So are you heading straight to the embassy, or are you going to whatever the place was that you were working out of? I don't remember that name.
The Shadow Singer Guild.
Yeah, that one.
Do we need to stop there, Sasha, or should we just go? Because your friend is in charge there, yes?
I would like to check in at some point, but I think the council is. Well, yes, we need to. Yes.
If
We
we're
will
going
stop
to check
by.
in, we should stop by now, because we're going to go through the portal if it's ready.
Yeah,
And-
sorry, my brain just went.
We won't be
But-
back this way for a while, so if you want to check in, do it now.
The ghostly tea.
Coffee,
Yes,
please.
I will check in with Azrael.
Question: is Mazdak proficient with shields, or can he use one if he wanted to?
That's a very good question. I'm not sure. Not sure he would want to be honest.
It would be in your armor bit.
No, light armor is all I got.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I could use shields.
No,
Not a
there's heavy, light, medium, and shields.
Right.
But I'm using none of the above.
Okay. So you're heading to the guild. You're going back down through the now not so secret entrance to the Shadow Singers Guild.
They might have to do a different entrance now. This is, fairly obvious.
As you get down there, well, I'm gonna have to completely buy a new building. As Azrael stood there in the bar as you enter.
Azrael, my dear friend.
Oh, Sasha, is it over?
As much as it can be for now, I don't think it will ever be over until we can figure out what's causing these rifts to reoccur and stop it.
Well, I'm glad that's your job and not mine.
Mm.
I've got a lot of rebuilding to do here. But
Thank you for your help, dear friend.
yeah, who knew that I'd be involved in that sort of thing? Usually try to keep out of the limelight.
A spot of honest work for you.
Never again, I swear it.
Might keep you out of jail once. Assuming they ever catch you.
Yeah. Well, not if I get a new establishment set up pretty quick. You off? You back?
We will be shortly, yes. I just wanted to stop in and see how things had been going in my absence.
Well, there's been a lot of loss here of the general populace and of the guild itself, but we'll pick ourselves back up, march on, even if it is through a swamp.
Well, maybe
Strange
that's where
times.
you want to put your new entrance. It's not somewhere people would want to dwell voluntarily.
Yes. I've been called a swamp dweller before, but never thought it would be quite literal.
I mean, I was drunk that time, so you can't hold it against me.
Oh, I struggle to hold anything against you, my friend. But it has been a delight to see you again, Sasha.
And you
Don't
too,
be a
Azrael.
stranger. If there's anything you need, ask someone else.
Of course.
Always happy to have you back here. And he just gives you a proper big bear hug.
And she'll bear hug him back. Not awkwardly like she did with her mother, where it was like, sure.
Yeah. Why can't you be more like your sister? Well, farewell. Feel free to grab a beer on your way out.
You know it.
Yeah, so he gets back to work and all seems in hand there. And
Quick
you guys...
question
Yeah.
for the DM, while we're waiting for her to have that conversation, sort of, I know, and I've seen a few times that Mazdak's taken quite a beating in a fight. So I know him being a wizard, he would like something light, something sort of quite, wizardly, should we say.
Mhm.
I have a rather nice, very deep red robe. Could I use my Ring of the Fabricator and use the Fabricate spell and spend 10 minutes doing it and use the materials of the plates of that dwarven armor that I've got, a set of studded leather armor, and this robe to create a almost like an armored robe for him?
I think the use of metal in that is going to make it not light armor.
Right. Okay. So if I just use the leather and the robe, that might. Because the studded leather is classed as light armor anyway. I'm just trying to make it more wizardly, should we say, and more.
Yeah. I'll have a think about that.
Just I'm going to say literally just a quick question that's just occurred to me given the materials I have at hand.
Yeah. I'll need to look at the Fabricate spell to see quite what that can do. I know it's pretty powerful, but yeah, I'll leave that with me. So, yeah, you finish your business in the guild and head back up top and work your way through to the embassy.
So once we get there... Sorry.
No.
So once we get there, I will find the wizards. I can't remember the name of the guys that were here.
Me neither.
Okay. I will find Eric, or whatever his name is. Any news on the portaling front? Is it safe again once more? We should, I think, be okay. Have you tested
portals are all back up and ready to go.
Oh, fantastic! So, yes, we will head to Kantichi then.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
As you've walked in and immediately initiated this conversation, you do see someone else in the room, just in the corner, who also jumps in to... well, let's see what sort of delay there is on the stream. Hey!
Yo, Mr.
Delay. You had to give me a moment to connect there.
Sorry. I should have sent you a quick message to pre-warn you.
Also, I need to change your name on Discord.
Yes. So as you enter the embassy and strike up a brief conversation with Eric, or whatever his name was, there's someone else in the room. If you would care to describe that someone.
So you notice the person is standing leaning against the wall, obviously watching for something, and on one hand there's a coin idly spinning across their fingers. And as soon as they see you and you've announced your destination, they push off against the wall and the coin gets hidden away in a pocket and they're immediately striding towards you, decked in armor and
towards
massive
me?
swords strapped to their back. Well, the
Towards
group of
me?
you.
Right.
Oh.
I vanish behind Kroll.
Yeah, so Carl just basically lumbers forward.
I'm surprised Mazdak doesn't just dive headfirst into the back of Kral's shell, to be honest.
But
And,
I will sort of start muttering, and you'll see sort of purple fire start
Yeah.
to race around my fingers as I start panicking.
So Carl will just gently reach back and put his hand on the back of Mazdak's hand. Now, we've spoke about this.
But highly armored figures are approaching. This is
I'll deal with it. Don't worry.
We'll deal with it.
Can I help you?
Future friend, you are blessed. I am among you now to guide you now in our future endeavors.
And your name is?
Salviel.
Right. So, just ballparking it here, or swamping it as we might say now. What makes you think that you're joining us?
I am joining you because it's been commanded by my god, who is to say not entirely happy with the pace at which you've been investigating things. So in order to hurry things up and divine intervention, not maybe the best way to go about things just yet, I have been sent to guide you.
I mean, if the
Which god?
You soul.
Sorry, which god?
Leosol, you have
You soul.
See
Net. one very high powerful follower of
Right?
Leosol before,
We have.
We-
God of
we-
Fate,
Yeah,
and
it was. Trying to find his name.
Lamintaranax. I remember the name.
Ah,
Oh,
good
yes.
work.
So,
Lermy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lermy.
Yeah.
Early.
so what you're saying is that Leosol wasn't happy with the guidance that Lamintaranax gave us.
No, Lamintaranax spoke to you as he was instructed. Your pace of following through on those instructions has been lacking.
Right, so if it's really that much of an issue, then perhaps Leosol could have taken direct action themselves and solved this by themselves. Or,
No, but Leosol has, and I am here. This is a direct action. I am a follower of Leosol, reporting only to them, and now I am here. I am not sure what else you expect. Do you worship Leosol? If not, why would they speak to you?
another god-bothering idiot.
Well,
I'll frown at Kral.
if hold on, which particular set of investigations is Leosol wishing us to expedite?
Yes.
Well, we have a rather long to-do list, you see.
I'm
saying all
aware.
this from just sort of like poking my head up behind Kral's shell. We have rather a long to-do list, you see. So we were going about things in the order of importance. So the next order of importance is to find Jakota. So that's what we're going to do. If this is indeed what you have been sent to help with, great. Ish, I think,
Well,
possibly.
yes,
And
I
just
was
look at-
waiting here for you to take the portal.
Bill,
But you've stopped us taking the portal.
I stopped you so I can be with you when you go through the portal.
I'm going to cut this short. You can come with us. Your
Of course I can.
usefulness. Okay. Let me get through this. Don't interrupt me. You can come with us. Your usefulness is yet to be decided.
My usefulness has been determined.
Not by us, it hasn't. So if
No,
you
it
wanna-
hasn't.
if-
By a
if you
higher
wanna-
authority.
Well,
A
that's
higher
not quite
authority
true.
which-
There's no higher authority than the law of magic.
I think my sword removing somebody's head from their shoulders will even beat the most
Are you
determined of
gonna-
magicians.
I'm literally just going to take the keystone, tap it, and just sort of, get them to trigger the portal immediately. Because I'm very bored with this conversation now. And if I don't go through that portal, the next thing I'm going to do is plant a rather large crossbow bolt right between this person's eyes.
Can I just ask, is this like an elf, a dragonborn? Who are we looking at here? Sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't really get much.
What sort of size?
Half elf.
Half elf.
Bit average for half elf. Not particularly remarkable looking, apart from the shiny armor and the large sword. I will specify not shiny as in, that kind of officer thing of this has never been worn and only trotted out for parade, but shiny isn't taken care of.
Okay,
Okay,
like
so
a pre-trauma Bernia.
I will look to Bernia and Sasha as fellow sword wearers.
You're a champion of Leosol. Is that how you would describe yourself?
Yes.
You are convicted in your faith.
I am.
If you would aid us on this journey, on this mission, then I see no reason to distrust you for the moment.
Well, our sincerest, humblest apologies to Leosol, but we were too busy trying to stop the extermination of my race. So if that's a problem for Leosol, then they can fuck off.
Well, as I said to your friend, yes, it was a problem, and that's why I'm here.
Well, you're a bit late because we've already dealt with it. Now,
Should I activate the portal?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Feeling like wanting to get this tenseness the other side.
Yeah, as soon as a portal
I'm not paid enough to listen to this.
As soon as the portal is activated, I will straight through.
Yeah. Carl will just press him. Yes. Come on, get. And you see that what the new person will see is this sort of 1.5 foot tall mechanical, essentially like a small version of Kral, with sort of this keel glow at its heart, just fly up and sit on the top of his shell, and then Kral goes through.
Tiny turtle.
Careful, power.
No.
I don't know why I did that. It just came to my head.
Because
Perfect. It was perfect.
Yes, there may be 3 of the prototypes, and I think you might like one at home.
Mm. Okay, so the now 5 of you go and head through the portal one by one and reappear. Salviel, your experience here is new as you appear in this enormous chamber. It's a semicircle all around the curved edge. There are these teleportation circles up a couple of steps on a very important looking little platform, and there's like 6 of them in this whole room. There's people sort of milling around. It's very bus stop like as there are people kind of coming and going. The ceilings are like 30 feet tall with these enormous decorated columns holding everything up, and it's all like the sort of most stone you've seen in one place that has been purposefully been put there and carved to be there and looking beautiful. The other side. Sorry?
No, just, being one of those people that, has to announce their opinion to everyone.
So the other side of the room, as you step off the platform, there's of course the attendant that's working there in the robes, the Kentetian robes, sort of checking you in, like, oh, hello, you're right. Where have you come from? Where are you going to? I know where you come from. You come through the portal from Anenia.
yes, we are the investigators. I am Mazdak. These are.
Oh right, you guys.
Yes, indeed. Is Lucrezia around at all?
Yep, she'll be waiting for you. You're right on time. I'll get a message to her, and just sort of stops and does this and says, right, if you just turn right outside, go straight down into a little meeting room on the end.
I'm striding straight out. I can't be dealing with this new
Yeah.
person.
This is the, if I remember all the way back, 27 3/4 of an episode, is the meeting room that you were first sent to in the, well, now only one of you? Sasha, you the only one that was originally teleported here?
I'm the OG!
Yeah. I mean, Mazdak was in the city ready to meet you, but so you know exactly where you're going, Sasha, and you just sort of storm off and lead him.
Yeah, I'm just sort of striding off.
Yeah, so I'll sort of direct everybody else, and I'll lumber in the rear.
I'm not sure you want lumber in your ear.
Definitely. Well, depends on your preferences, I suppose.
It's up to you, but
It depends whether some
I'd be fearful of splinters myself.
Yeah, obviously. But,
Either that, or it depends if some bastard slips you in Imodium.
So you can find your way.
Moving swiftly onwards.
And we're back. We're through. We made it through the serious bit.
yeah.
So yeah, you go and head to this waiting room. You can sit down. Is there any conversation that occurs in the few minutes you're waiting?
I'm gonna kind of look Salviel up and down. So, what is your story? You seem an interesting person.
Are you so forward with everyone you meet?
I find it
You ask for my
helpful
history
to-
and you're offering none of your own.
I am Bernia, a veteran of Varaya. I like to get to know people that I fight alongside.
Fair. I haven't seen much of the world yet. I'm half-elf, so I need to avoid certain parts of the world, as I'm sure you're aware. I've spent most of my time training in the temple until I was called upon.
Should note, Bernia's a half-elf as well, so she can definitely relate. Good to know.
Yeah, we're a bit of a odd bunch.
That's
We've
like,
got a
Indeed, hardly isn't.
We've got a turtle, a half elf, a Asimar, and what's Mastak again? His
I'm a
what's his
virgin.
race?
Verdant.
Which are like
Virgin.
goblin elf kind of
But blue?
vibe.
Am I blue? Yeah, I think I am. Hang on.
I think they're green. And it's the Vidalcan that are blue.
No, I'm
You're
silver. With yeah, I'm completely bald. I've long pointed ears. I'm silver and I've got pale blue eyes. And I'm now 5'2" because I grew up.
Not that you can tell when you're hiding behind a 1.5 foot high turtle.
But
No. That's just my little companion.
Oh, right.
Rahl is basically like a 6'6".
What's he like? I was going to say, yeah, 7 foot or something.
Yeah, he's actually he's almost 7 feet tall, and he's very wide.
I see.
has to go through doorways sideways.
Mazdak will be excitedly pointing out rooms down the corridors. And, well, this, as you can see, is the centre of magic in the entire world. This is Kentishi, where I am from, and all of our wizard power is based here. Obviously, you understand that magic rules the entire world, and the wizards are in charge of it. So we are kind of quite important, and there is a huge library here which you can probably gain entrance to. Although, are you magical at all? Do you do spells? Are you a
And what?
excellent? You are good. So I can probably teach you a few things, and we could probably get along really well. How often? How many books do you read a day?
Not so much per day.
Oh.
A lot of my training is of the martial variety.
Ah. Right.
Have
So,
we-
The sword is
achieved-
kind of a hint to that.
well, yes,
Have
but I
we-
thought that perhaps you could maybe do magic, like Bernia can on occasion. I know Sasha doesn't, but Bernia does.
Yes, I have a feeling I'm somewhat like Bernia.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. You are quite sort of comparable in height.
That's probably more to do with the race
Hmm.
Oh. Is
than
it?
the calling.
Oh, okay. Perhaps. I suppose many wizards are different heights. I suppose.
There's a bit of a thud where Sasha's like pushing the door and it's banging into the wall.
Oops. Lucretia's not.
Is your
happy
friend
with
always
that.
of such good temper?
No, I'm not
Yes.
very happy with you banging doors, Sasha. Thank you.
Hi, Lucretia.
Welcome back, everyone. You're right.
Forgive me, Lucrezia, it's been a morning.
Well,
So,
Miss Lucrezia, did you enjoy your dessert that we sent for you last time?
oh yes, it was very lovely custard.
I don't know.
Oh, yes.
I love the just.
Currently, we are aware. Is there anybody else in the room, or is it just Lucrezia?
No, it's just you lot. And
Okay. As the door shuts, I will turn to Lucrezia. This is a new companion we have met, or rather, she
I
has
will-
been told she should assist us, which is interesting.
Stride forward and take the creature's hand and proceed to bow over and kiss the knuckles.
oh no, you don't need to do that. It's nice to meet you. Hello. We usually
A pleasure.
start.
Yeah, there would have
My
been
name is
when
Salviel.
Nice to meet you.
Mazdak mentioned a new companion, there would have been a bit of a derisive snort from Sasha's direction.
So you've picked up a new friend. That's nice to see, but you're missing an old one.
Yes, Dalen. I don't know where Dalen went. He just.
We-
For such a
Wait.
large man, it is surprising
Very-
that we
he's very
have
good at
lost
that,
track
though.
of him.
He
I
just like kind
believe
of
that-
disappears, even though he's still there. It's very strange.
I believe that Vastra may have called him away to other business.
Yeah, let's just go with that as canon. He said I must go for Vastro at some point.
Yeah.
They just wandered off, and you're like, all right, bye.
I mean, that is a pretty Dalen thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he said that death was occurring that should be. That may be related to that.
It could be, yes. But anyway, we need to report. We have got many things to say. And
Okay.
I will start explaining everything that's happened very excitedly and at great length and detail, probably getting derailed at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
I won't put you all through it.
Yeah, I'll gently. But the Kral will be dipping in when he can feel Mazdak going off too far on the tangent, just to bring him back in line.
So,
Yeah.
and then you see, we must also talk to Grandmaster Stanyard because Severil is going to reach out to him to collaborate, as we said,
Oh.
and I think that's a very good idea. We should, I think, from speaking to him, I think he is genuinely trying to make amends.
But you may want to be gentle with his ego.
He's still a
There's
conniving little weasel.
That there is a guilt in him for what he has done.
But it's
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. But he said he'd reach out to Stanyard.
Yes.
Yes.
Did he? Right. Oh.
He's the only one he trusts.
Well, that may have been a little. Well, no, I think there's a good respect there from the two of them for their magical knowledge. But it turns out there is someone on the council that he's closer to.
Really?
Do you remember meeting all the council members that
Yes.
one time?
Indeed.
Do you remember there was another elf in the room? Grandmaster Eluin.
Yes.
Well, it turns out those two are related. That is another reason why Several's in trouble, because you shouldn't really have two people who are related on the council, because it tends to put a bit of a leaning towards decision making,
Yes.
isn't it?
Right.
So,
Who was the incumbent when the other one took office?
I think Several was there first, and then Eluin came in.
Well, I mean, feel free to discard this advice if you please. I mean, the Grandmaster can do what they want, but they're going to need to pad his ego. Be careful of his pride, because he thinks that he's the one to solve all this.
Well, yeah, he would, wouldn't he? But if you say that he's actually remorseful for what's happened,
The kitty is just being ridiculous.
Sorry.
No. It was gorgeous.
No.
She was
Burn
obviously
you.
enjoying herself immensely.
Bernier's on the money. He has a lot of guilt, and he knows he's done wrong.
Still not quite enough, in my opinion, but
Asher, nothing would have been enough for you unless he'd have got down on his hands and knees and kissed everybody's feet. You're just an angry, angry person. And I understand that this was affecting your people. But your people are not the only ones that have been affected by this. Please, for the love of everybody, retain some perspective of what we're trying to do. He's an unimaginable idiot, and he deserves to be clapped in the hands, deprived of his magic, and never see the light of day again. But that's just not how the chips are falling. Come on now, darling. You're better than this.
well, quite. It's not, yeah. In an ideal world, we'd just throw him in cuffs and stick him in a dungeon, but he's too close to this, he's too useful, and he's too powerful, frankly, to ignore him and keep him away from this. We do need his insight and we do need his power. So if he and Stanyard can come to some sort of agreement that they can... well, I don't speak for the council, of course. I just speak for myself. But we've known each other long enough, I can be honest with you. We do need him.
I think that's
think
a wise decision.
As tall as he is.
I think that is a wise decision. He does know quite a lot about the current situation, having caused quite a lot of it.
Yeah.
I just worry that trying to fix it in his own way might cause more problems. And I just want to make sure that those that have suffered because of this get some kind of justice.
Well,
Well, let's-
the collaboration is the point of him trying to make amends. And I think
Yeah.
that the Grandmaster, Stanyard, and the rest of the council are best placed to utilise Several's talents.
And let's try and stop the world from imploding before we start going too far down the retribution route.
Has anyone heard from Contrarara at all?
No?
Well,
Interesting.
if you may be able to get a message to Steady,
Right.
Conarara kind of caught up with us and tried to, well, to put it bluntly, kill us.
Right.
And she then tried to teleport away during the rift, and, well, she may be in some difficulty.
Right.
There was
Well-
Got a fistful of golem.
Yeah, she may be in some sort of
yes. I think if
trouble.
yes, if you could get a message to SETI about that, that would be
Okay.
go some way to perhaps we could SETI know some way of reaching out to Contarara to try and help her back to where she should be.
Perhaps ameliorate her feelings.
Well,
Right. I mean, every time early on, before we stopped people from teleporting during these events, we had a few that sort of went missing and never heard from again. And Contarara tried to teleport, and you think, what's happened to her?
well, there was a large cracking noise, and then she vanished, but it wasn't like a normal teleport spell. It felt very different and very strange. But also, when Severill tried to teleport, he noticed a cracking noise as well, but he only went on a very short distance. But he could then see himself fighting this creature, which kind of suggests he went back in time briefly. So
It was one he had already been fighting and was trying to get away from.
yes, so that was very
So-
strange.
So teleporting during a temporal event translates you in time and not.
Well, it did
Location.
space as well. It did location
Oh.
as well, because he was at the bottom of the hill. He went halfway up the hill to escape the fight he was in.
In theory, there's if you teleport during these rift events, it adds a temporal component to the translocation spell.
He then proceeded to pass out for 2 days, so we were told.
Oh. Well,
So that could be of great research knowledge, because if we could control where in time you went, it could be used to research previous events, historical events, or even future events where you could learn things that have not yet
Or-
occurred yet.
If
Or
we
you
can
could explode.
if we can manipulate where we're going to end up, surely we could go back to the point where Severill was going to detonate this pearl, stop it from happening. Thereby,
Yes.
I'd be careful with this line of thinking if I were you.
It does seem the problem. I think we are, as previously explained, I think we are possibly in a time loop of some kind, where we just need to break the cycle rather than going back to try and fix things, because that will lead to a different loop.
it does seem to be a conflux of events, past, present, future.
Yes.
What was it you said earlier, Mazdak? Something about wibbly wobbly?
Oh, yes. Time is not straight or even curved, as we know. It is wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. So we can hopefully learn interesting things about time and space, or time and relative dimensions
Dimensions in
in
space.
space. That's. I hadn't thought of that part. Perfect. That starts writing some notes down.
Maybe some kind of box of some sort.
There's some sort of
Doc-
acronym ready to use there.
There is. I'll figure it out. I'll have a think about that.
Right, so this is all good. I'll report back to Stanya. Did you say you needed to speak to him directly, or are you happy for me to pass this information on?
Well,
As long as it is the correct standard.
Well, I'll check his favourite dessert before I converse with anyone.
Yeah.
I've not
We may
been.
want-
I've not had any reports of imposters in your absence, by the way.
Good.
We may want to at some point reconsider changing our little check-in, just to make sure that.
Oh, we should change it. Yes.
But we should do that when Stanyard's in the room as well,
Absolutely.
because
Yes.
otherwise, you know.
So if you can pass on all of that information to Stanyard and the rest of them,
And SETI, I think it's important that SETI knows all of this information as well.
and then
Okay. So
if we can get paid, we'll get our supplies, and then we are going to be setting course for Burvia.
okay, you're after that
Jakoto.
Jacob.
Goto, right?
Yes. Well, as explained earlier, one of the 3 immortal beings.
Yeah. Or I'll have a look into the other 2
Yes, just in
for you.
case we fail.
Just in
to
case,
find
yeah.
Jakoto.
Yeah.
Perhaps,
Okay.
Perhaps
Well,
the Dream Lord
I'll
is a
put-
nice chap. Who knows?
Well, at least he's
Sounds
called the
good.
Dream Lord, not the Nightmare Lord.
Oh yes.
Although I
absolutely.
suspect that might just be a catchier name. So I'll report back to Stanyard. He can get in touch with SETI and make sure all of that information is passed on, and to be on the lookout for Contorado, who might be
Lost in the
somewhere
timeways
in the past or the present or in the
future.
yeah.
Oh. What? Oh dear. I have just thought. If Contorara is in the future, and she gets her hands on this magical technology, that could go very badly if she ever appears back in the present.
I'm going to stop you right there. We don't know what's happened. We'll deal with it when we come to it. Let's just deal with what's in front of us right now. We need to find Jakoto. We need to get to Burvia. Stop worrying about Connemara until we need to.
Nasdaq's now just frozen, thinking about being eaten by a teched-up dragon. Right, yes, of course, yes. Burvia, yes.
At
Yeah.
the expense of sounding like a broken record, has my delivery from of the Titan shell been made yet?
Oh, I think because of the shutdown of the portals over the last 3 days, no, nothing's been coming through. But I'm sure it'll be en route very soon. Should be by the time you get back from Burvia, I would hope. One last little bit of information that I should probably give to you is that the after effects of the last rift were quite severe. There have been reports that we're looking into that a couple of towns have gone missing. They're just gone. It used to be a nice bustling town, and now it's just grassland.
Where are they located?
There was one in Zaralassia to the south of here,
Right.
and one we heard of in Balfosland.
So, entire towns have vanished.
Which
Yeah.
town?
We're still getting reports in, but I think it was Tropenha. Do you know it? You're from over that way, are you?
You'll hang on. Okay, yeah.
Checks notes.
No, he's from over that way. I'm sort of I'm just okay, yeah. You will see very sort of it's portal facial expressions aren't very expressive, but this is probably the most expressive you've ever seen Kral's face. And he just goes very quiet.
Right.
And you're seeing they're just gone.
Yeah. as far as I know, like I said, it's just the embassies are just feeding us information at the moment, so we don't really know too much.
Mazdak,
Yes.
do you remember when we visited that place where there was that portal that took us back in time?
Oh, yes, indeed. That was it to the north in Greconoria, was it not?
To before certain places existed.
Yes.
Perhaps that is something that's happened here. The whole town has been taken
Or
to a different
the
time.
whole area has been catapulted into the future when that town no longer exists. Or, as you say, in the past before it existed. So it's not necessarily the town that has moved, but the geography has gone back to what it was before the town, or forward to what it was after the town. We cannot be sure. So technically, if there is a portal near there, you may be able to step through to take a look. So, yes, Lucrezia, you should tell the embassies to get somebody out there to take a look for any portals that may be left in the locations.
We're looking into it.
Was in Greconoria, was it? Or that was in Canticia?
It wasn't quite Greconoria, no. It was
to the north,
to the
Canticia,
north of Canticia, yeah. Cesano up the top.
That's right, yeah. Is that where Jeff was? Jeff the barman. Yes, it was. Awesome.
How could I forget Jeff the barman?
I mean, come on.
That was your first encounter with the imposter.
Indeed it was. Interesting. So,
How do we know that? And I'll point at. Is it Salviel?
Salviel.
Is not some kind of imposter.
that's a very good point.
Given that you don't know me at all, how would I prove to you that I'm someone else?
I mean, why would an imposter come in pretending to be someone that you don't know?
Also a good point.
It does somewhat seem to defeat the purpose.
Well,
Because you claim to have come from somebody that we have known.
No, I was instructed by Lee of Soul. I know of the person that you spoke to before, but they were not the ones to instruct me.
Well, I think we need to gather equipment and possibly some kind of healing potions, maybe.
And our payment, of course.
Healing. That's a point with Dalen going.
Yes, we don't have any dedicated healing, which could prove dangerous.
I've got some limited capacity. Barnier's got some as well.
I'm capable of some, thanks to the gifts of Nagale.
I have one emergency minor heal, enough to bring somebody back from the brink, but
Nothing the level of Dalen.
Yeah. Salviel, are you capable of any sort of restorative
Some
magics?
minor protections, but
Right.
I don't think that could make a significant difference in a fight.
How do you identify your service to Leosold? Are you a paladin? Are you a
Yes.
cleric?
Paladin. I fight in their name.
Okay.
Well, if you want, I could organise a case of pearls with some healing spells in.
Yes,
That would be
absolutely.
most-
That would be fantastic.
That'd be appreciated. Right. Shall we head back to the house? Gather ourselves, gather any equipment that we need, do a bit of potential shopping, and then move on.
Right. Yep, sure, I'll let you get off in just a second as she sort of reaches into this very small purse that just attached to the belt. And as she pulls out, there's a sack of coins and pops that down and then reaches back in and pulls out another sack of coins. And clearly this very small purse is just been pulling out coin stacks. There's slightly smaller than the purse itself, but multiple of them.
Yeah.
And
A
pulls
coin
out
purse of holding.
basically pulls out 5 of these, going, "Oh well, there's Dalen's payment as well, but I suppose
Well,
should I hold on to that for him, or do you want to just? Is he coming back and gonna
We
want
don't
money?
know. So if you could hold on to that for him.
Okay,
We'll
No
give him a bit of time, and then if he doesn't come back after the next job, we'll take it as a party fund.
okay. Right. Well, so Salviel, should I include you in
In the next one, yes.
next?
In the next one, if you will be so kind.
Okay. So, and
To be determined whether or not she proves her worth,
Well,
of course.
In the meantime, Carl's going to pull out sort of 100 gold of his own sort of reserve and sort of just give it to her in a pouch, just as like a down payment type thing, so she can get a few supplies that she needs.
there you go.
My thanks.
So can anyone remind me, without cheating, what the current going rate was?
Oh,
day.
no asking.
I do not know, so I won't answer.
We actually negotiated an increase, didn't we?
We did, but
Yeah,
what was it?
Spaniard's usually pretty good. Like, give him a raise.
Yeah.
Checking notes.
Yeah, it started at like 50, but it's definitely gone up since then.
Didn't we get an increase? It sort of went up. For some reason, I'm coming back to like 125. But I don't-
Feels steep.
Yeah, okay. Well, we
No,
don't. We
didn't it go up to 75 a day from the 50? Something
That feels about right.
Yeah,
feels about right.
that seems more likely.
and we got a special dispensary rate because of the shit that we had to do on the one mission. So yeah, I think we got a rate like 75 a day.
Okay.
I think.
Well, we don't need to pick that now because that's kind of where we're gonna
Yeah.
finish up today. But yeah, if anyone's got it in notes, if not, then I'll just make a call and
Yeah,
tell
I
you.
don't
It's-
seem to have it, but Nat's probably got it.
Last what we got was 800 gold each. That's what I found so far, but I've only sort of flicked through.
Yeah.
Okay, well we could do that. If
Yeah.
you do that sort of
Okay.
offline, you can then
Yeah.
let Martin know what that was.
Cool. And if you can't, let me know and I'll just make up a number
Yeah.
or something. Okay. Well, so after you've finished talking with Lucrezia, you can head back to the house that you have in the city. Perhaps you can assign a bedroom to your new friend.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
Awesome. That was really good. Thank you, Martin.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. You can forget how tiring DMing can be
Absolutely.
sometimes.
It is.
By the way, I do love you, Debbie.
No, I get that. I was really hoping I'd get some conflict coming as a character because of how I want to play it. And
That was such a brilliant entrance, though. I loved
Yeah.
how you just walked in and pissed everyone right off. It's perfect.
so I get
Piss me off.
achievements.
Didn't piss off Mazdak. Mazdak just got immediately frightened. Ran
Yes. This
The
time, yeah. But
bird
no,
just intrigued me.
no, Nat and Ash's reactions were just perfection.
Yeah.
We have reached a trifecta of big women with swords.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a 2 levels of fighter, 5 levels of barbarian.
And I am all paladin.
I'm all
And
paladin
all
too.
3 of us have great swords.
Yes. Although I have read those in my character sheet, like Martin Moore beforehand. It's like, by the way, you want to level up? It's like, cool, I'll do that. And I just looked at my character sheet and I have no equipment.
Ah,
So I'm going to have to fix that for next week.
Yeah. Yeah, just going at the basic stuff.
Yeah. The armored sword.
How much was in the pouches, by the way?
We don't know. We haven't. Martin's going to.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
was
right,
trying
yeah.
yeah. I'm feeling. Do you know what? Let's just call it 100 gold a day. So there's 300 gold in each.
get a bonus
Nice.
for saving a country.
Well, that was for you to negotiate with that country.
Yeah.
Bloody wizards.
Cool. So
You're
can we
going to
level
pay
up?
us more, or we're going to
I'm
summon
an
the
elite
dragon.
in that country, so you know.
Fucking
Go on.
cheat.
Come on, we worked hard tonight. We should level up.
Oh yeah, I'd love to level up for my 20 minutes of RP.
You started the night at level 5 as well, Debbie. So you can't
That's
complain.
true, yeah. No, I'm
that's
just being greedy now, yeah. Over third level.
Right. Okay. So thank you all very much for playing. Thank you, Martin, for picking this campaign up again. I forgot how much fun it was. Yeah. Well done, everybody, for getting back into character and just some superior roleplay again. It's always good to see. Yeah. So we'll be back here on Tuesday for the Elusive Tide, wherever we are in there. And of
You're
course-
fighting some dragons, I think.
Something like that, yeah. And of course, we'll be back here next Sunday for the next episode of The Investigators with our new Paladin companion. Awesome.
Yes.
So,
Pally power.
if you enjoyed it, thank you very much. Special shout out to Sea Glass Oceans in the chat and Fiddy in the chat as well. Good grief.
Hey, Philly.
Wanted to know where Barry was from. He's from Barry, obviously. All Barrys are from Barry at some point in their history.
Is that Barry
Barry.
Island?
Yeah, obviously.
Barry.
From Barry in Wales. So,
Barry.
thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, we love you very much. If you didn't enjoy it, then really, are you mental? Off you fuck. And we'll see you all soon. Bye.